Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Um, Welcome to our class. I am going to be your practice teacher, and let me introduce myself. My name is Sir Joffrey Orcajada. I am from the AB English department. So this is part of our program to teach and also um, Ma'am Mongkal has appointed me to discuss this lesson to all of you. So this will be my lesson for today. It's the constructivism, a multidisciplinary approach. So before anything else, I hope everyone is doing fine despite of the changes in our traditional classroom setting. But then thank God for these technologies that we have right now, and the education is still available and made possible for all of us. So yes, going back to my lesson, it's again about constructivism, and for today, um, let's define first what is constructivism. Um, okay. A refreshing characteristic of constructivism is its integration of linguistic, psychological, and sociological paradigms, and that is why it's called a multidisciplinary, because it does not just cater one aspect, it caters a lot. In fact, the linguistic side, the psychological side, which talks about behavior, character of a certain individual, most specifically students or the learners, and of course the sociological paradigms or the social aspect of the individual, which includes the environment, the community, the exposure that he or the individual has um, every day of it in the everyday living. So there are two branches of constructivism. Number one is the cognitive constructivism, which emphasizes or the emphasis is placed on the importance of learners constructing their own presentation of reality. So it means this talks about, when you say cognitive, it talks about their the mental ability of a learner. So the ability to think, so everything that goes with, or everything that involves mind or thinking. So that's the first branch of constructivism. It's talking about how their mental ability, the role of their mental ability when it comes to learning, and yeah, that the cognitive aspect of constructivism pays important or emphasis on in the individual's tawag nito, mental thinking or the mental development of a child. And the social constructivism emphasizes the importance of social interaction and cooperative learning in constructing both cognitive and emotional images of reality. So the social constructivism gives pays important on the role of the society or the community of the individual. So because this constructivism again includes not just the linguistic side but also the cognitive and the social aspect of an individual, and how does it affect their learning. And it is very important for educators like us to really go deeper on that aspect, because it gives us an idea, or it gives us the um, it gives us it helps us understand how important it is to understand um, this aspect of a learner. So there are two major contributors on this theory or on this approach. Number one is Jean Piaget and Leigh Vygotsky. So I believe you are familiar with these people already. You have heard, or maybe you have already encountered these people, and they have made so much impact when it comes to the field of education. So these are their theories. So before that, let me just end. Um, for Piaget, when it comes to social-cultural context, he only gives a little emphasis, which means he does not really focus on the role of the society, but on the other hand, Vygotsky gives a strong emphasis. For him, sociocultural context, or the relationship of the learner towards the community or a certain um, society, plays a very important role into the development of a child. Well, for Piaget, he is not convinced, or for him, it is not really important, or he does not give so much emphasis on the social cultural aspect of the learner, because for him, in for his belief when it comes to constructivism, he is a cognitive constructivist. It means he is more like, um, he is thinking, he believes that it is more on the inside. It means it's the learner, the construct, the development of a learner is more focused on the intrapersonal relationship, and for him, the only role of society when it comes to the development of the child is just, it serves just as a stimuli. It means it only triggers certain ideas for him, that there are certain things that are already innate, like the ideas, thoughts of a child are already innate, and the society only triggers those. However, Vygotsky is a social constructivist, believing that the society and exposure to the society, and the experiences of an individual in a certain society or a community plays a vital role, an important role to the development of a child. Now, for Piaget, the stages are, he gives emphasis on stages of development. So there, for him, there are stages of development. For Vygotsky, there is no general stages of development proposed. The key processes in development and learning is equilibration, schema, which is the flow of thoughts, the adaptation, assimilation, and accommodation. So as you can see, Piaget gives more emphasis on what is happening on the mental aspect or the thinking of a child. No, while for Vygotsky, the zone of proximal development, or the scaffolding, the language or dialogue, tools of the culture, this is his key of processes. It means the CPD, or the zone of proximal development, for him, that he believes that an individual, or a learning, has an ability to do or to learn something. It's just that they are not there yet. It means there is an innate potential for the learners already, and the role of the society is very important because it gives them the opportunity. While for Piaget, it's more on the discovery. It's discovering. It's all about discovering everything inside of you as a child, as a learner. So you do things by discovery. However, for Vygotsky, you learn things by experiencing it. So you learn things by doing it and through your exposure with the society. Now, for Piaget, the role of language is just too minimal. The language provides labels for children's experiences, egocentric speech. It means that language only serves as label, as so that they will have names for certain things. They will have for identification purposes. That's the only role of language. However, for Vygotsky, Vygotsky, he believed that language plays a vital or a powerful role in shaping thoughts. It means for him, language has the power to form an individual language within the society, more specifically within the society. The language used within a society plays a powerful role in shaping the thoughts. It means the society and the language within the society influences the thinking skills, the thoughts, the mental development, the mental ability of a child. Now, for Piaget, for him, he says that language plays only as a label. It means when the presence of a language for the child's perspective, it's for him or her to identify things, and then right after identifying these things, there is a self-discovery. The child becomes the learning becomes real and authentic for the child because it is self-discovered. It is not based on the society, though society serves as a trigger or as a stimuli. That the experiences of a child becomes more real because of the personal exploration of the child or the discovery of a child. Now, the implications of Piaget support children to explore their world and discover knowledge. So it means that Piaget only implies that the role of the society to the development of a child is that to serve as a support to the children, but you have to let them discover things. You have to let them explore and experience things on their own for learning to become more real for them and to become more plausible for them. But for Vygotsky, the society has to establish opportunities for children to learn with a teacher and more skilled peers. It means you have to include the children, you have to expose them to more opportunities to get a hands-on experience and learn wisdom from learning or from getting it from the people involved in his learning stages. Now, here's a Venn diagram of how or the theories, no, for both of them. No, the similarities of their theories is that cognitive development requires both physical and social stimulation. Of course, it's the both of them believe that personal and social, or the intrapersonal and the interpersonal relationship plays a very important role to stimulate or to enhance cognitive or develop cognitive aspect of a child. Now, children need to be active and experiment in order to develop thinking. It means there should be a hands-on experience. For both of them, they believe that there should be a hands-on experience, and in order for them to develop thinking skills, they have to participate to the society. They have to participate to how they understand things. They have to participate and put everything into application. Now, the challenge with support will keep students engaged but not fearful. That's the good thing about their theory. It's because both believe that the society and even the individual has to give support, especially the society has to give support system, has to be the support system and help students to engage more. And because of that, they will not be afraid to learn, and they will not be afraid to do things that they are not familiar with because there is a specific support system. Now, the differences that they have is that Piaget believe it's solitary. It means it's more on the individual. It's more on the individual. But Vygotsky, for him, he gives so much importance to the society, to the social aspect. Now, for Piaget, there are strict stages and are age-based. So it means there are certain stages. By the age of this age the students are going to learn on this. There are specific cognitive development, and it would vary according to their ages. And for Piaget, development is different depending on cultural context. So for him, it is more on the exposure of the students. So whether for him, ages are not of big factor, but more on the more on the society. Like for example, if a child is more exposed on society na, like for example, yung mga nasa, hindi naman sa squatter talaga, pero yung um, butang na lang nato na nasa middle class na mga children who are exposed in a society nga medyo ano gyud, daghan kaayo activities, actively participating. So for Vygotsky, he believed that children who are more exposed on the society tends to develop their cognitive depende siya, no, nakadepende yung cognitive development ng student or ng learner doon sa society kung saan siya na tawag nito na expose. So iba yung, kumbaga, there is a difference between those students who grew up in a society that is more exposed sa different kind of people than those people who just merely grew up inside the house and just the entire time just being with classmates and then house and then classmates and house. But those students who are involved in their neighborhood, they have different cognitive development. Now, for Piaget, children acquire knowledge through their own exploration. So it means it's up to the children on their exposures, or kung baga, it's up to the children how they explore things, and the more they explore, the more they develop their cognitive aspect. Without experiences, it would be almost impossible for children to learn. That's the theory of Piaget. But for Vygotsky, children work with others to build knowledge. It means there is a cooperation within the society. The more they work with other people, the more they develop their cognitive aspect. For Piaget, thought drives language. It means that the language that the children express is based on their thinking, based on their mental ability, their cognitive development. But for Vygotsky, learning precedes a development. It means that they have to learn within the society so that they can develop as individual. That's the differences, no? Egocentric speech becomes social speech, and social speech become inner speech. You see, there is a somehow an opposite. For Piaget, it's actually inside out, but for Vygotsky, it's outside in. No, Piaget believes that everything starts from within, and then it comes out to the society. It becomes their behavior to the society. But for Vygotsky, the society influences the thinking, the character, and the behavior of the individual, specifically the learners. And then, as an assignment for all of you, I'd like you to write and answer this question: which theory do you agree the most? Because again, since both of them made a point, and their point is that for them that cognitive in society, or cognitive and the social aspects of an individual serves as a big factor to their development. Now, though they have almost similar theories, they also have differences. Now, to which theory do you agree the most? To which theory are you more favorable? Are you more favorable on the theory of Piaget, believing that um, you believe that everything starts from within and then it comes outside, or for like if you believe like but to the theory of Vygotsky that it comes from the outside, comes from the society, and it influences in the inside of the learner, and of course why. So I want you to do that, write that, and I want you to pass that to your Professor Mungkal, through your LMS, and then ayan, you can pass it any time of the week. So I think that's it for today. Hope you learned something. Thank you so much for your time and have a good day. God bless you, everyone. See you all next time.